going on, you guys? It's your boy Alex West Collects here, bringing you another figure review. And today we're taking a look at WWE Mattel Elite Greatest Hits Wave 2. We have Diamond Dallas Page, King Harley Race, yes, he's back in the Mattel line, and Cash-In Seth Rollins. If you are interested in grabbing any of these figures, they are now available and shipping from ringsidecollectibles.com. Use discount code FORLIFE to save 10% off your order. Save some money, get these figures delivered right to your doorstep, and don't wait for the crappy distribution of retail. So again, the greatest hits wave has been kind of a random selection, right? Like, I get Ddp was a Target exclusive, right? That was in the Legends line. I think it was Series 10. For some reason, there was distribution issues where Brutus and Ddp were not made available at retail. You actually had to order them through Target and online, and they were coming in and out of stock. I remember that being such a pain in the ass. But I guess they felt, hey, if enough people wanted this figure, let's throw them in the greatest hits wave. It kind of seems to be like either hard to come by figures or figures that weren't released plentiful. Obviously, King Harley Race was one. That was a Walmart exclusive. I don't even know how many people actually found that in the stores. I never saw them, never saw anyone from that set. I was able to order very few. I think maybe I got, I don't even remember who was in that set. Was it Jake Roberts or was that a previous set? But never saw any of those Walmart figures in store. Cash-In Seth Rollins, this was a Toys R Us exclusive. I remember a buddy of mine stashed it at a Toys R Us. Obviously, Toys R Us no longer exists. And I was able to get this figure. Absolutely one of my favorites in my collection. Spoiler, I actually did recently get rid of it, yes. Because I knew we were getting the greatest hits wave. It's going to be a better version. It's going to have the new TrueFX technology on the face, the double jointed pinless elbows. So I said, I don't need to. I was trying to hang on to it for review's sake, but I figured, let me just unload them now. Well, some people may still want them. So unfortunately, I don't have that for comparisons, but I do have a few other Rollins we'll definitely be comparing this through. I was actually at that WrestleMania where he cashed in live, so this has a great sentimental value to me. Probably still, I know a lot of people love Seth and his current gimmick, but this to me was my favorite version of Seth Rollins. I love the cash-in, the weasel kind of gimmick, but excited to have all these figures in hand. Obviously, King Harley Race is going to be a highly sought-after one for collectors. And we will definitely take a deep dive into each of these figures. But look at them in the packaging. You'll see the awesome images of each wrestler on the front. Flipping over to the side, you will see the nameplates for Diamond Dallas Page, King Harley Race, and Seth Rollins. Flipping all the way around, you get the awesome images of each wrestler, as well as the Greatest Hits logo here on the bottom. And on the back, you get the images, again, of each wrestler, the read-up, and the other figures in the wave. I'm excited. Let's crack all these figures out of their packaging and go through them one by one. Starting us off first, we are taking a look at Ddp, and his accessories do include a set of interchangeable mic holding hands. You can see he does have the black finger tape on here as well. Looks really nice. Obviously, you get the diamond cutter symbol hands here. Looks really good. And again, this is the Legend Series 10 figure. Did see kind of a limited release. And it's great that they got it back in the Greatest Hits line. And you can see the deco on this figure looks great. He does come with this awesome vest, if you are noticing that. Got the little lightning bolts or like electricity on there with the Ddp logo here on the front. You can see he does have that removable headpiece. This does port on the side here. Obviously, he has that kind of hole in there. I was not a big fan of that with the Legends figure, and I know a lot of people are having a kind of a hard time finding this figure. I was able to get this multiple times on the Target app. I no longer have it in my collection. Once they announced this version, obviously it had the single jointed elbows. I said, I don't need two Ddps. I'm not even a huge fan of Ddp from this era. Personally, the People's Champion look in WCW is my favorite. Him in the jeans. Unfortunately, we're not getting him part of that Nitro Ultimate set, so hopefully Ddp does see an Ultimate Edition figure down the road because he is well deserving of it. But you can see the nice detailing on the vest. It has Bangman on the back. Really like that. One thing I want to point out, so this is the thing I'm noticing right off the bat that is different. The size of the arms. They are bigger for sure. Ddp generally had those kind of scrawny arms. And I don't know if they're accurate, but I kind of like it. It gives more bulk and more size to him. So I kind of do appreciate that they went with these kind of bigger bicep arms. Obviously, you get the double jointed pinless elbows here. That is what is mainly different from the last release version of this Ddp. But again, the size of the arms is a lot bigger. I unfortunately don't have the Legends 10 to compare, but I do have some other Legends Ddps, and they do definitely share the same size of the arms. And I kind of show that off for some comparisons, but going on his gear again, you will see the deco here on his pants. Love that with Ddp and the diamond cutter sign. Again, just looks really nice. Like the detailing, and the head scan is phenomenal as well. Getting a quick close-up of that head scan, Mattel did a phenomenal job. This really captures a great likeness to Diamond Dallas Page. And again, you can see on the side how that headset does port in there. If you guys do not want to keep it on, you can just unplug it. Unfortunately, it does have that hole. I really don't like the look of that, but you can see the headpiece. It is a nice sculpted piece, very small. Be careful. This is something you could probably easily lose. You can see even he does have the nice little tattoo on his chest. And if you guys want to get a quick close-up look at this figure all around, again, they just did a phenomenal job. I'm going to go out there and say that this figure is without a doubt better than the Legends 10 version. For your DDP comparisons, we have the Elite Matty Collector Legends figure here on the left. Again, the Nitro Stage DDP that was part of the crowdfunder was kind of loosely based on this attire here. Probably still my favorite DDP in my collection. On the right, we have the Elite 36. This has the pink band versus the blue band on the Legends figure. And you can see the actual figure itself is a little shorter the new Greatest Hits versus his other counterparts, but you can see the size difference of the arms, right? This is what I was talking about. I feel like the Legends 10 figure had these smaller single jointed arms. I feel like these bigger arms definitely do look nicer and add a little more size to DDP, because he definitely was not a small guy. The next figure we are taking a look at is Seth Rollins, and as far as his accessories go, you do get a set of gloved fisted hands here. The figure does come with two kind of like mic holding hands. Additionally, you get the gold Money in the Bank briefcase. This looks nice. One of my favorite Money in the Banks. Love the little detail on there. I know when we saw the proto pictures, they actually had the back, so people are like, there's no decal on there. It is on there. I'm happy to confirm that. It looks really nice. Additionally, you get the WWE, excuse me, Championship belt. Looks great. We've seen this plenty of times before. Nice vac finish to it. But let's move on to Rollins. So again, this is probably my favorite version of Seth Rollins. You can see the head scan itself has the new TrueFX details. He unfortunately does not have the chest hair. That was something I was hoping that they could like throw on as a bonus for these Greatest Hits figures. But apparently Mattel has to reuse most of the same formula is what they told us. They can't really be anything new. But, I mean, they are including interchangeable hands on figures that didn't have interchangeable parts. That DDP we just reviewed had bigger arms. So why couldn't we just get a little extra deco hit here, man? It really would have completed the look. I hate the fact that this figure never had the chest hair. I don't know. Maybe that's something minor, but it just would have put the figure over the top. You can see he's got the nice SR logo here on there. Obviously, there's no belt sculpted on it. It's just kind of printed on, and no other detailing going around it. You do have the gold going down the tights here with the black. The gold trim on the knee pads as well, and just kind of the plain black kickers here. No real crazy detail. I will say the tattoo on the back itself looks to be a little lighter. Let's see if we can get a zoom in on that. I feel like this definitely was a lot darker on the original release. You can see this actually looks more like a tattoo to me. So I kind of do like the look of that. It just is a little fainter, not as prevalent. You will see, obviously, he has the double jointed pinless elbows over here. It does add a nice touch to it. And if you guys want to get a quick close-up on this head scan, let's see if we can get a nice angle for you guys. It doesn't look too bad with the TrueFX. I know something just looks a little lacking. The hair on the side looks to be nicely painted. It isn't as sloppy, I feel like, as the original release was. I definitely actually have that on my my White Ranger Seth Rollins, that same head, so we are definitely going to compare it. But all in all, I do like this Rollins. I just feel like there's some missed opportunities here which really would have plussed it up. For our first set of Seth Rollins comparisons, so here we have the most recent Ultimate Edition Series 17. Looks really great. You can see, obviously, the size of the Ultimate is bigger than the Elite. And we have the Elite 99 here with a head swap from the Ultimate Edition figure. Again, you will see that the Elites do have the same kind of scale and height. As far as the Ultimate, it is taller, just like we found out in the review for that figure itself. I will say one thing I did want to point out, he does have the skinnier thighs as opposed to what was used on the Ultimate and some of his newer Elites. I do like the size proportions better on that figure. He does look a lot skinnier, but again, this kind of fits the time frame if you ask me. Next up, we have the Elite 45 Seth Rollins in his white attire. This is still probably one of my favorite figures. I absolutely love this era of Seth Rollins. You can see the gear is obviously just inverted, the white versus the black and gold here. I do wish, again, we could have also gotten this kind of entrance attire that the Elite 45 did come with. But again, you can see the head scan comparison, so let's get a quick zoom in. The True FX on the right versus the original release. I kind of like the look of the original release a little better, to be honest. This is the same head that came on the cash-in Seth Rollins. You can see does have the blonde highlights if you guys kind of want to get a comparison of how that looks on the heads. But I know something about this new True FX one. I don't know if the beard is just too thick, but something looks a little off. This just looks a little cleaner, even though it is an older look. But I feel like it still holds up the earlier version versus the new True FX version. And the last figure we're taking a look at from this set, without a doubt, is the most anticipated and highly sought after. It's King Harley Race. Again, this was a very limited release. It was a Walmart exclusive. Not too many people found them in stores. I remember I had the opportunity to buy this figure for like maybe 50 or 60 bucks, and I passed on it. I just feel like, I'll be honest, I've never seen not one King Harley Race match. It just was, he was so before my time. I didn't feel like it fit my collection. I didn't really need it. And slowly, the price of this figure just kept skyrocketing. I don't know if it was maybe FOMO or people who really wanted him were just paying out the ass to get him. I think at one point, maybe it was like a $400 figure in box. But thankfully, Mattel was able to get him back in the Mattel line and throw him right here in the Greatest Hits wave. And you're going to get a plus-up version. So as far as accessories go, you do get a set of fisted hands. You get this awesome King outfit with this beautiful crown. I did want to point out, Mattel actually put some plastic in here, I guess to avoid from any kind of paint chipping or wear if the crown was sticking from some of the paint details to the hair. But really nicely done. Look at the sculpt. The nice red with the kind of dark gold. You get the little white kind of fur here on the bottom. Some nice sculpting here on the top. Just looks really nice. I do like the detailing to it. And obviously the robe is a hard goods robe. It is not soft goods, but you know what? For the Elite line, that's what you're going to get. This doesn't hinder articulation a crazy amount. I mean, it is a cape, so he's supposed to wear it with his arms in there. So I'm not too upset about it. You can see the little tie here in the front with a nice kind of fur detailing going around this cape. Just ports open here in the front. You will see the hole, and you can remove your cape off of your King Harley. Again, this looks really nice. It is pretty soft too. But here's the figure itself. Look at this head scan. Again, I'm not the biggest Harley Race fan, but I have seen some images of it. And this head scan does look pretty good. It is spot on. You kind of got this afro with the curls going. The kind of nice dirty blonde hair. It's a nice tattoo detailing as well. It does have the bigger arms. And the attire is pretty simple. Kind of like a dark purple. I do like the golds here that kind of mesh with it. You see the crown logo here on the side. That looks really nice. He's got the painted socks underneath with the purple knee pads. You got the nice little crown here, attire here. It runs in the Macho King attire. But all in all, looks pretty good. I think for you guys who missed out are going to be pretty happy. I know a lot of people were upset saying that this just really hurts the collecting value. And it does. There's no way around it. I personally don't collect for value. I collect for sentimental reasons. So it doesn't bother me too much, but for people who had this figure and it was worth so much money and now they're re-releasing it, I get your pain, but I also see from the other side of the other point of view, this was a very limited release. You will still have a pretty limited figure, but without a doubt, the added articulation and the face detailing on this Harley is going to put it over the top versus the original. And I'll be totally honest with you guys, I had no idea what to throw in there for comparisons. I don't know too much about King Harley, but I figured this would be a nice one. I have the Ultimate Edition Ric Flair. You can see the difference in the robe versus kind of something with a hard goods versus what could be with a soft goods robe. Looks really nice, and I definitely do like both of these figures. Before we wrap up with some final thoughts, if you guys are enjoying this video review, do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe button down below. I have tons more WWE and AEW wrestling action figure reviews coming your way. After this video review, I have the second half wave of the Greatest Hits Elites, which includes The Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, and Bautista. After that, I even have more figure reviews, which include AEW Unrivaled Series 12. So make sure to turn on those notification bells and subscribe to check out those reviews coming up real soon. As far as these three figures go, I personally really like them. Obviously, the question is, should I buy them if I have the original versions? Without a question, with DDP, I feel like, yes, this is an upgrade. A lot of it is very similar. The head scan, the deco on the gear. I absolutely love the thicker arms. I feel like it does put a little more on this figure. They are also the double jointed arms, so I'd say get rid of the Legends 10. I mean, you don't need to have every figure. I think that's the problem, right? And that's where I was like, do I keep the original version? I decided not to. I feel like this was going to be an upgrade. Sometimes you take a chance and, you know, get rid of it while it still has some value. So I say this new one is an upgraded version for Diamond Dallas Page. I say go ahead and grab him. King Harley is a no-brainer, right? How many of us really had him? Personally, I didn't even know if I wanted this version in my collection. He's just so before my time, but FOMO kind of hit in. This was such a highly sought after figure. I feel like the hype was there, and I was like, you know what? I need it for my collection. So I say go ahead and grab King Harley. It looks really nice, even with the hard goods cape. I feel like this figure just looks really good. And if you have one Harley Race in your collection, this is the only one to buy that's readily available right now. Seth Rollins, I do think for the most part, it is an upgrade over the prior release version. I did go ahead and throw on the vest from the Elite 37 figure. I feel like that kind of completes the look, even though it doesn't have the gold filled out in here. I wish they could have done a little more with this figure, as far as maybe at least throwing on the chest hair for his deco, but you know, it is what it is. For the most part, the figure is really nice. I will say I do like the original head scan from the cash-in Seth Rollins versus this new True FX version, but you know, it's really up to you guys. It's a preference. You get the added articulation at least, which to me is always a plus. I really do appreciate these double jointed pinless arms versus these single joints. So if you are interested in grabbing any of these figures, they are now available and shipping from ringsidecollectibles.com. Promo code for life will save you 10% off your order at checkout. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram for more great figure content. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video review, and I'll catch you all on the next one.